Hey everyone, James Rath here. Thursday, May 19th is Global Accessibility Awareness Day. To help spread awareness and to kind of show my support, I'm making this whole video about audio descriptions and why they're so important. Did you know that it's estimated that 285 million people are visually impaired or legally blind? It's a lot of people. We're a big population. As someone who was born legally blind, I do believe that vision is a privilege, and you never know when you're going to lose your sight because a lot of people lose their sight over time with age or a disease or freak accident. Like, you never know when you're going to lose it and be a part of this population of visually impaired people. Losing your vision or not having vision is very scary in a lot of situations. And it also sucks when things aren't accessible to you and you don't feel included with the rest of the sighted world. That's what Global Accessibility Awareness Day is all about. It's about allowing people who have companies, products, services, and just people in general to be aware that accessibility is so necessary in today's society because we need to not be afraid of inclusion and we need to accept people. The entertainment industry is something that I'm passionate about making more accessible. As someone who's a filmmaker who is legally blind, I want my content to be more accessible with the platforms that I use to share my content. The entertainment industry is currently not very accessible to people who have a visual impairment. There are things like closed captions available to the deaf and to the hard of hearing, but there's only so many audio descriptions available for the blind and visually impaired. The content that's currently audio described and available to the visually impaired and the blind is so limited right now. We live in a new age where anyone can have a voice and can create content and share it with the world thanks to YouTube and other video platforms. Currently, YouTube offers the ability for content creators to upload or transcribe their videos with closed captions, which I think is very awesome and it's a great system the way it currently works right now. Viewers can also contribute closed captions to creators if they allow it. If you want to learn more about closed captions and all of that, check out my friend Ricky Pointer's videos on how to go about closed captioning your videos, as it's currently a service that is available. At this point in time, YouTube currently does not have any plans announced to have audio descriptions or support the visually impaired or the blind. Now, very few creators do upload content that is already audio described, but that's only content created for the visually impaired or the blind. The majority of content creators do not cater only to a small minority like the visually impaired or the blind. So much like closed captions, YouTube needs to create a system that allows people to record audio descriptions right on the website or be able to upload these audio descriptions to a video as an extra layer of audio. That way, built into the player, they can just enable an AD button, much like closed captions right now. Believe it or not, some movie theaters actually do offer audio descriptions for visually impaired or blind viewers. However, it doesn't always work. I'm a guy who doesn't often go to the movies because where I lived back on the East Coast, I didn't have a movie theater that was accessibly available to me. Now that I live in Los Angeles, there are more movie theaters out here, but the closest one to me that has audio descriptions available is a good 8 miles. For someone who doesn't drive, that's kind of far. Now, this past weekend, I attempted to go to the movies with 3 of my sighted friends and see a movie blindfolded with audio descriptions. I do have a little bit of sight, but I wanted to experience the audio descriptions without any of my sight available. So the plan was to see the movie with blindfolds along with my friends and attempt to see this movie with audio descriptions. They had 4 little devices for us, and we each had headphones. These headphones were supposed to have an extra audio track play as we also watched the film. Only about half of the blockbusters that are currently out offer audio descriptions. So we saw the movie Zootopia. So what basically happened was they had an issue with their audio description system in that specific theater that we watched that movie in. I'm not sure if it was a lack of training or if they just weren't prepared, but it's so important to have accessibility available when it's needed. So unfortunately, they just didn't have the system working for us, so we watched the movie without blindfolds and without audio descriptions. This was no issue for my 3 sighted friends. They could watch the movie. I, on the other hand, could still enjoy the movie. You know, I was able to make out some of it. The fine details were a little hard. I mean, the screen was big and large, but it just wasn't all that accessible. Movie theaters, however, are not your only option if you're looking for audio descriptions. A lot of DVDs and Blu-rays come with audio descriptions, much like closed captions, built in. But again, that's only for the movies and TV shows that are currently available with audio descriptions. Apple's iTunes has updated this week with an entire selection of all their movies and TV shows that currently support audio descriptions. All you have to do is go to itunes.com/audio description. If it's installed currently on your computer, it'll automatically open up the application and show you the entire catalog of audio description movies. There's quite a few on there as well. Another service that does offer audio descriptions is Netflix, and Netflix has taken a huge stride to include audio descriptions with the majority, if not all, of their original content. So this means shows like Fuller House, Daredevil, and the 4th season of Arrested Development should all have audio descriptions available. Netflix as a platform also has quite a few movies and TV shows that do have audio audio descriptions from other studios. Because my friends and I couldn't enjoy Zootopia at the theaters with audio descriptions due to some glitches, we decided to come back home last night and run a movie on iTunes that did have audio descriptions. After trying to figure out a good movie that we all haven't seen yet, we decided to watch Everest. And we decided to watch this movie in 3 different ways. For the first 1/3 of the film, we decided to have blindfolds on and turn off the lights, turn down the brightness of the computer screen, and just watch the movie with audio descriptions available.
I'm coming up to you, Vic. You're not coming.
Rath crosses the ladder bridge to Beck, who struggles to hold on.
For the second third of the film, we decided to turn on the lights, bring up the brightness, and actually take off the blindfolds to watch the film, but with audio descriptions turned on to see how that would work.
Having a hard time?
Also, like, fell asleep like sometimes, but...
I heard you snoring, yes.
I did?
You fell asleep too, didn't
No.
you? I didn't know, I didn't fall asleep.
Feel a touch of the down belly. Scott and Rob leave the tent. What's going on, Roberto?
I could have done that, but I couldn't come home.
Rob faces him with a serious expression.
And for the last third of the film, we decided to turn off the audio descriptions and just watch the movie normally how every other viewer would with sight. For my friends who do have perfect vision available, and for myself who's legally blind, it was quite a different experience for all of us. This is all of our takes on what it was like. So what was your experience basically watching a movie blindfolded with audio descriptions?
I found it very difficult, actually.
Difficult?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I found that you had to put 100% effort into actually hearing it and concentrating on it and making sure that you don't miss out on any little detail.
You mean before or after I fell asleep?
You're gonna roast yourself.
I was actually really interested to try and do it. I had some difficulty because you really have to sit down and just really pay attention, and it helps with the blindfold because it literally just helps you focus on what you're hearing instead of what you're hearing and seeing.
Are these real glasses?
No.
She's being honest.
I am being honest.
Did you,
I know.
Were you able to experience any of it? Like, or was it within, like, when it was still saying Universal, you fell asleep? It was the opening when it said Universal Studios. At what point during the film could you enjoy it the most? With audio descriptions in visuals, or solely with visuals?
I guess with audio descriptions and visuals, but then again, sometimes the audio descriptions would get in the way sometimes.
Okay.
It was definitely more difficult with being blindfolded, just the audio descriptions. So.
With visuals and the description, I suppose, because I just don't
Were
pay
you half
attention.
asleep during that?
A little bit. And when I wasn't paying attention, the audio description was right there.
I think with audio descriptions and visuals, I had pretty much the best time watching it because it kind of, if you didn't understand it, it would describe it and you'd be like, okay, well that's happening, and then you get to watch it too. So I like that the most.
So do you see now why it's important though to have audio descriptions for blind or visually impaired audience as a content creator?
I mean, yeah. I'm sorry.
Do you like make boring content and you want them to fall asleep during it? Or like,
Oh my god.
Boom, roasted.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because without that, it would just, you wouldn't know what sort of movie you're watching or where you're at. So I definitely think it's very important.
okay.
I have nothing to say now.
Yes, 100%, because I feel like if you're blind, you still have the opportunity to enjoy it if you have those.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's important for everybody to get as much enjoyment as you can.
Yes, it's very important. Yeah.
That seemed very genuine. As a content creator on the internet, it's so important to make the internet more accessible and be inclusive with your content. Whether that means adding closed captions to your videos, making a transcript available of your video, or if that means for developers and programmers to develop these accessibility features for their users. For example, YouTube with creating a feature to allow us to add audio descriptions to our videos. Please. It's so important to create accessible content, whether it's an application, a video, an image. If you do photography, image descriptions are a thing. I have a video on that. Apple has an entire section of their app store that just shows you all the most accessible apps for the visually impaired, for hearing impaired, people with cognitive disabilities, physical disabilities, motor skills, and so on. If you haven't done research yet on accessibility, I really encourage you to do so and how you can be more accessible. Or if you are a person with accessibility needs, figure out what your needs are and ask people who create services that you use or applications you want to use, ask for accessibility. In the description of this video, I'll have resources to all the movies that are audio described, and iTunes where you can find all the audio described movies, and Netflix for a free trial if you currently aren't using Netflix. And if you're currently a content creator, all the best practices for creating closed captions, and if you want to get into audio descriptions, or if you want to help campaign to get YouTube to add audio descriptions, or even Facebook or some online video service, I encourage you to check out the links down below. If you want more information on Global Accessibility Awareness Day, all that would be down below. Please share this video, and if you're a sighted individual, I do encourage you to try audio descriptions. See like how would they benefit you as a sighted individual if they do at all, or how would you see yourself using these if you do lose your vision at some point, or even like watch a movie with the closed captions turned on and you know, see if you can like follow the film and also read at the same time. Before I keep rambling on, leave a comment down below on your thoughts on accessibility, and if you think it's important. If you don't think it's important, tell me why. Let's have a civil conversation down there. It's an open forum. I will see you guys next time with this video. Like, by the way, and subscribe if you like this sort of content. See ya.